In this module, we will learn about actuators, the common terms you need to know, how they work and what they do. We will also introduce some of Norgren's key actuators, including ISO and house versions. Actuators, sometimes called cylinders or pneumatic drives, are products used to provide motion and force to automated systems, machines, and processes. The type and characteristics of the actuator you choose will be defined by the application. Before we get started, it's worth noting some key components to a typical cylinder. Single-acting cylinders have a power stroke in one direction only, either sprung in or sprung out. The simple design only uses air in one direction, saving cost, and can be easily set to return to a known position. However, they do have limited stroke length, and there is little control on the spring. Double-acting cylinders replace the spring with air, meaning more control in both directions and the option of longer stroke lengths. When a double-acting actuator reaches the end of a stroke, it can be cushioned or non-cushioned. Here we see a representation of a non-cushioned actuator. A lack of cushioning limits the usage of the actuator and makes it more suitable for full-stroke slow operation. The simplest form of cushioning is fixed or buffer cushioning, usually found on small-bore light-duty cylinders. A small disc made of a softer material reduces the impact of metal on metal. Adjustable cushioning is a more sophisticated system. As the piston rod approaches the last part of its stroke, the air trapped in front slows it down. An adjustable cushion screw changes the speed in which the air is able to bleed from the cylinder, therefore altering the amount of cushioning. The cushioning screw will need periodic adjustment depending on application and usage. ACS, or Adaptive Cushioning System, is a clever approach that does not require the adjustment of a cushioning screw in 80% of applications. It self-adjusts depending on the speed of the cylinder and automatically accommodates for changes in load and wear. This won't need adjusting unless the actuator is used at very low or high speeds or with extreme loads. Like most actuators, Norgren standard cylinders are equipped with magnets, usually under a wear ring. These bands allow read or solid-state switches on the outside of the cylinder to detect its position. Rodless actuators. As the name suggests, these actuators have no piston rods. One of the benefits of the Norgren rodless, known as the Lintra Plus, is the carriage that moves externally and is connected directly to the piston. Seals either side of the piston open and close as it moves through a cycle. These cylinders have adjustable cushioning and optional dual connection ports to minimize tubing, allowing for easier installation. Cylinders are either produced to house standards, which means that they are likely to be unique to the manufacturer, or they are produced to more widely adopted and often international standards. Products that don't meet recognized standards will usually have to be replaced by parts from the same manufacturer, whereas those meeting ISO or VDMA standards will have common dimensional standards, allowing units from other manufacturers to fit in the same footprint. It's worth noting that these standards do not cover the operating parameters and other variables. Now that we have learnt a little behind the theory of actuators, let's take a look at some key Norgren products. The ISO line is a significant improvement over its predecessor. The cylinder is 15% lighter and with ACS cushioning technology. Available as single or double acting, it conforms to ISO 15552, has flush-mounted switches to avoid damage, is fully configurable, and comes with a magnetic piston as standard. The ISO line range has a number of accessories to complement the actuator depending on the application. A guide block can be used to enhance load performance on all ISO actuators. Some come with a roller bearing designed for faster applications, but they can't take such a heavy load. A rod lock keeps the piston rod on an ISO actuator in place and has both safety and process benefits. The locking unit requires an extended piston rod, so it is best practice to order the cylinder to initially include the locking unit. When it comes to installing an ISO 15552 cylinder, Norgren offer one of the largest ranges of mountings in the business. IVAC stands for Integrated Valve and Actuator Control. It's the name of Norgren's unique fully integrated actuator, with one air connection and one electrical connection. It uses up to 50% less energy. It's lighter than the equivalent system built from individual parts and is quicker to install than competitor products. It uses the same footprint as an ISO actuator, but with an integrated valve spool. Norgren's Roundline series of actuators have smaller bore sizes than other ranges and are sealed for life, making them maintenance-free. They use an M50 switch and require an additional bracket for mounting. The ISO Roundline range conforms to ISO standards, meaning they can be swapped with any other manufacturer's products that meet the same standard. They are ready to use with the piston rod and nose lock nuts included, but a full range of accessories are available if required. They are buffer cushioned as standard, but can be upgraded to air cushioning when ordering. Norgren's house range of Roundline cylinders have buffer cushioning and are smaller and more economical than the ISO Roundline range. Although the outside is smooth, these are not food grade, and lock nuts are not included. This is Norgren's compact ISO cylinder. Offered as either single or double acting with male or female piston rod threads, these cylinders have flush fit reed switch or solid state switches and buffer cushioning as standard. There is a large range of accessories for these cylinders. Norgren's house range of compact cylinders are available as single or double acting and made from a corrosion-resistant material, allowing for a wider range of applications. Lintra Plus is Norgren's range of rodless cylinders. They are offered in strokes of up to 8.5 meters, although this does depend on the bore size, and come with optional dual porting, meaning less tubing and easier installation. Rather than a locking unit, rodless cylinders, like Lintra Plus, have a brake option. There is no ISO standard for rodless actuators. This is Norgren's well-established house cylinder. It comes in a range of bore sizes, has a magnetic piston option up to 4-inch bore, and is available with a range of mounting choices. There are a number of actuators that are more common in the US and unlikely to be seen outside the Americas. Some are very similar, while others are unique to that territory. The number one actuator in the Americas is the NFPA cylinder. Roundline Plus is the other cylinder in this category and is different to the Roundline cylinders in Europe. They look similar to the RT57000 but have upgraded cushioning. Let's take a look at how the part numbers for the Norgren products are generated. If we start with a typical part number, the first 3 digits represent the product range. In this case, it's a profile actuator. The next 3 digits also represent the product range. Here, it's ISO line. The next 3 digits give us the bore size. In this case, it's 32 millimeters. Make sure it's one of the standard sizes. If not, it may be a special or bespoke part. For example, with ISO line Roundline, 26 may represent a 25 bore with adjustable cushioning. The next digit, the one between the slashes, reveals any technical options. In this case, M, which stands for magnetic. The final digits give us the stroke of the cylinder. Here it's 320 millimeters. Any digits after these would represent optional mountings. Adding value. As well as mountings and switches, there are a number of other accessories available for Norgren actuators, including flow regulators. A flow regulator at the point of use is the best way to control the speed of the actuator. It's always worth considering what accessories will ensure the customer gets the most from their actuator. It's a great way to add value. That's the end of the module. You should now have a good understanding of how different types of actuators work, common terminology, and the products available in the Norgren range. There are other related products available from Norgren not covered in this course. Please visit the website to find out more.